I see New York sports there. I'm going to have something to say about that in just a minute. Grew up on Long Island. All right. Hip hop music. All right. So if you're just joining us, if you could put in the chat what you think of when you think of New York. Brian, how many do we have on? Not showing up here.
I've got about, let's see, about 23 on Zoom right now, 3 more on YouTube.
All right, for those of you who are just joining, welcome from Ithaca, New York. And if you could just put into the chat box what you think of when you think of New York.
Damn, everything.
Broadway, Times Square, hip hop music, the Big Apple, the Twin Towers. That was quite a day. Skyscrapers in Yellow Taxi. The MoMA, that is the Museum of Modern Art, which is in New York City. The city that never sleeps. What do you think of when you think of New York, if you're just joining us? Enjoy the ocean. If you're on Long Island, that's a great place to enjoy the ocean, that's for sure. It's home for Precious. Hey, Precious. Home sweet home. Small apartments and alleys to play in. I like that. All right, if you're just joining us, I'm asking you to, Roy from Ithaca, New York here, I'm asking you to put in the chat box what you think of when you think of New York. Buffalo wings. I just have to say, in Buffalo, we just call them wings. Pretty darn good pizza, that's for sure. Best dressed detectives. You must be a Law and Order fan. That's right. Upstate New York in the fall is a beautiful, beautiful place. I can't see a number oh, there it is up there, 36 participants. Should I give people a little more time to join in? So if you're just joining us, I'm asking you to put in the chat box, what do you think of when you think of New York? Oh, okay. Gotcha, Ryan. We'll get started here in about another minute or two. Thousand Islands, that's up north. That's up here. Can you see my cursor on the screen? Can you see it? So the Thousand Islands are, this is the St. Lawrence River, which goes up here. And it's really a beautiful part of the state. That's where the Thousand Islands are. Lots of snow and ice and cold. That's true. Unfortunately, we're starting to get there. That'll be happening at any time. We've already had snow here. Not in the last week or so. It's been quite nice, actually. All right, so I think I'm going to get started. And I'll just give you a little preview of what to expect here today. I'm going to talk a little bit about New York. I'm going to sort of hopefully dispel some of the misconceptions of what people believe and think of what New York is all about. I'm going to start out in the big picture here and then slowly but surely work down towards Ithaca and the shelter. Then I'm going to do some updates. We'll do our usual updates, the Frontline Friday and several updates on COVID and different things. And then after that, I have an assistant who is here with me today, Kate, who works at the shelter. And we're going to, there she is. Wave again, Kate. There and she is going to give us a little virtual tour of the shelter today. So we're going to do the virtual tour. Hopefully that shouldn't take much more than 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'll end with a couple of closing words. So let's get started. There you go. That's the map of New York State. This blue dot right here is where Ithaca, New York is, right there. I was born and raised and grew up in Buffalo, New York, which is over here. When most people think of New York.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Okay.
We're going to ask everyone to mute. When most people think of New York, and many of your comments were mentioned skyscrapers and towers and lots of traffic and yellow cabs and things of that nature.
To mute.
That's what most people think of when they think of New York. And all of that happens in New York City. And New York is a really wonderful and magical place to be. I've been there only a few times in my life, believe it or not. I think maybe 4 or 5 times. But it is truly is an exciting, beautiful, cosmopolitan city that never sleeps, and lots of stuff goes on there. But the New York that I know and that I love best really looks a lot more like that. And those are the Adirondack Mountains. Now, if you could go back to the map and went directly north of Albany, there is a large park that is known as the Adirondack Park. And in that park, there is a mountain range that is just absolutely spectacular. In fact, there are 46 mountains over 4,000 feet. And there's a club that you can belong to is if you summit to the top of all of those 40. It's called the 46ers Club. That's a picture of my very lovely and talented wife and I on top of Cascade Mountain. We have together been to about 13 of the 46 mountains. I don't think that I'll ever get to be a member of the 46ers Club, but you never know. Another thing that is New York is known for, obviously, is Niagara Falls, and that is Niagara Falls, which is very close to the city that I grew up in Buffalo, New York. And, oh, geez, how did that get in there? My apologies. Just one note about the Buffalo Bills. New York, most people, when they think of football, they think of either the New York Jets or the New York Giants, I am here to tell you that the only thing New York about the Jets and the Giants is the name. There's only one city in Buffalo that has or in New York that has a football team, and that is Buffalo, New York. Go Bills.
Do you feel a little bit better now, Roy?
The Jets play their corporate offices, and where they play is in New Jersey. So I do feel better. Thanks, Rich. Just had to get that out. So the part of New York State that is really a lot of people don't really know much about is known as the Finger Lakes. And Ithaca, New York is at the south end of Cayuga Lake, which is right there. But the Finger Lakes are they're geological lakes. There's about 11 of them. And it really is just an absolutely beautiful and spectacular part of the country. This is a typical scenery of what the Finger Lakes look like. And one of the things that the Finger Lakes is particularly known for is the wineries. Around all of those lakes, along the shores, there are well over 100 different wineries that make some of the most pretty acclaimed wine, well-known wines in the world, particularly white wines, Rieslings. But anyway, that is very typical of what the countryside looks like in the part of the world that I live in and Rich lives in as well. That is Cayuga Lake in the south end of Cayuga Lake. Down here is the city of Ithaca, and that is the lake as you're looking north. I actually live in Trumansburg, which is a little town that is right about where my cursor is right now. There I am on the lake. The lake is a beautiful place for swimming and kayaking and fishing, great fishing on the lake. Another thing that Ithaca is really well known for is gorges and waterfalls. This is Treman State Park, which is a great place to swim. It's a short drive from Ithaca, maybe 4 or 5 miles. This is Buttermilk Falls, which is in within the city limits of Ithaca, another beautiful waterfalls in Ithaca. This is Ithaca Falls. This waterfalls is right across the street from Ithaca High School. I bet you Rich drives by it every day when he drives his kids to school. You can walk by that, and it's just a beautiful little bit of natural history that is just spectacular right here in Ithaca, New York. This is Taganic Falls, which is not far from where I live. This is the highest waterfalls. This is in Trumansburg, New York. This is the highest waterfalls east of the Rocky Mountains in the United States. So it's higher than Niagara Falls. This year it became, it's a beautiful, famous place. I can actually walk to this waterfalls from where I live. One of the things that it is famous for traditionally is that this year, for the first time in almost 100 years, peregrine falcons nest there. And if you ever spend any time talking to me at any length at all, you know that I am a very avid bird watcher, and it will soon, the discussion will begin talking about peregrine falcons. This was a bird that was almost extinct, and they were extirpated from the eastern half of the United States, and they came back this year, and they nested for the first time since the 1930s in Taganic Falls National Park. Another thing that Ithaca is famous for is Cornell University. Ithaca is a college town, and it is, if you ever spend any time in Ithaca, the population of Ithaca is about 30,000, and the student population of Ithaca is about 30,000. So when the students are in town, the population of the city doubles with both Cornell University and Ithaca College. So if you do any research into college campuses and come upon Cornell University, it's oftentimes mentioned as one of the most beautiful campuses, not only in the United States, but in the world. And then downtown Ithaca is pretty famous for its Ithaca Commons. About 50 years ago, they closed off Main Street and made it a pedestrian mall. It's a really cool place, particularly in the summer, to hang out. And just down the street from the Commons is the shelter. And that's where I'm right next door to that right now. And Kate's going to take you in a little tour of that in just a few minutes. So that's Ithaca, and that's the shelter. And we're going to take a little tour of that shelter in just a few moments. But right now, what I want to do is go through the updates. And there are several, so I'll try and be as quick as I can. First, I'd like to talk a little bit about COVID and the numbers around the different states and our different locations. In DC, there are no positive cases for either staff or for the people we serve. That is true in Delaware as well. In New York State, we have no positive cases for staff or the people that we serve. In Tennessee, there is one person who was released from the hospital this week, and the staff positives are up by one. It's up one from last week, and there are two staff members that are positive. In Virginia, the people that we support, we have two people that we support that have the virus, and we're actually down from two. We did have two people in Virginia that were positive for the virus, and this week they have recovered and they're better. I would like to mention that COVID, I'm sure most of you are aware that in the news, COVID is big, and it is a spike that is far greater than any spike that we experienced when COVID first hit us. The numbers are astronomical, and they are growing at an exponential rate. Yesterday in the United States, there was over 150 cases alone. When we were going through this in April, we were averaging around 30 to 40,000 cases a week. So the numbers are skyrocketing, which only sort of, in Ithaca, we've always prided ourselves as being, very careful. People, you'd be hard pressed to find someone without a mask in Ithaca, New York. Yet this week, or actually yesterday alone, our numbers increased by 30 people. And the health department put out a little notice, a warning actually, saying that that all of those cases can be attributed to small gatherings. So this is a tough time of year to be going through this because the holidays are coming up. People are going to be wanting to get together for small family gatherings for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I can only caution you to be very, very, very careful. In Ithaca, we have not had cases in the shelter. And I think that is because we have remained diligent about social distancing and wearing masks and washing our hands and using hand sanitizer and doing all of the things that are absolutely necessary for all of us to do to keep COVID out of our workplaces, away from ourselves and away from the people that we serve as well. So we do have some sad news. In DC, we lost another person that we support. Mr. Joel Golson was a loving man who was well liked by everyone, and he lost his battle with cancer, but he was a strong person all the way till the end. And I think John Jackson, John, are you here? John Jackson here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. John, you want to say a few words about Mr. Golson?
Yes, I do. Yeah, Joe, he's been with St. John's Community Services for a long time. He was here prior to me coming. I've been for 14 years. I'm not sure how many years he's been here. I think it's around maybe close to 20 years. But Joe, he was a kind soul. He was a type of person that could always lift you up, even if you were down. He would always talk to you. He was his own person. You know, you couldn't ask Joe to do anything he did not want to do. If you did, there would have been consequences to pay. But we will severely miss Joe. I know his family, they're in, you know, they're going to miss him as well. And we just want to, you know, pay all our respects as well as we can to the family, and to keep Joe in our hearts and our minds always. I know he'll always be in mind. That's
Thank
it.
you, John. Thank you very much. So maybe I think now would probably be a good time to, as we do each week, in memory of those who not only have, you know, we've lost some people to the virus, and we've lost several people for other reasons as well. And I think it's important that we take a moment to sort of silently reflect on them and their lives. And as John said, keep them in our hearts. And we'll just do a little moment of silence for that. Okay, thanks everybody. So let's see, we talked about the need for people wearing masks and staying diligent about that. We are continuing to maintain alternative schedules. Staffing schedules and changes are made to reduce the spread of the virus and to provide a safe environment for staff. Changes in staff schedules will continue for a while as the impact of the virus through the flu season is unpredictable. I would encourage all staff members to seek out the job board for opportunities to work on days off or potentially swap shifts with others. Some of the members of the St. John's Community Service will be visiting the Charles Lee Center to participate in the Workforce Development Initiative in Tennessee. This will boost our enabling technology efforts. More to come on that. The technology audit is continuing, and thank you for those who have participated already. We have a PAYCOM, sort of a standing PAYCOM reminder. We have a large number of staff who each pay period are falling to enter their times. They have missed punches, etc., submitting punch change requests, signing off on their time cards. This is a requirement that they manage their time cards and sign off after completion on the Monday that payroll closes. So do not wait until the payroll closes to try to submit your changes, as changes should be submitted in live mode or close to it. We have a little reminder, and this is from Rich, but I think I can cover it. Rich, if I don't cover it completely, just let me know. We have a, let me find it here. It's just a reminder that this year we have a paperless option for our W-2s and for 1095s. I would just like to let people know of this option. What they can do is they can select this option if they prefer not to get a paper version. We can't demand this, but you know, in an effort to sort of save a tree here and there, we're asking people to be aware of that. And you can go on PAYCOM and request a W-2 in that way. Rich, anything you want to add to that?
Roy, that was perfect. The only other thing I might ask is if people could just remember to update information in Paycom as phone numbers change, addresses change. Want to make sure those documents get to you and we have the right information in our records. So nope, that's it. Thanks, Roy.
Thank you. All right. This week is National Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week. Please check out the interview that Alan had with Chris Teitelbaum, who is the program supervisor here in Ithaca. He's on the Advocates for All. Also, I'd like to remind everyone that next week there's going to be a special interview. Alan is interviewing Nan Roman, who is the president and CEO of the National Alliance to End Homelessness. It's a live interview, and that's going to happen on Monday, November 16th at 2:15. We have had a radiothon going on in Tennessee, and I think Dwayne is here, and he's going to give us a little update as to all of the success we've had in Tennessee with the radiothon.
Hey, Roy, thank you. We did have our radiothon held yesterday. It was a huge success. It was our biggest radiothon to date. We went off the air yesterday with $23, and that was raised in 3 hours. To date, from an update from the radio station, around noon, we are currently sitting at $21,403. And again, this is done once a year, and it's conducted for 3 hours at WCMT Thunderbolt Broadcasting through Mr. Paul Tinkle and his staff. And we have the honor of benefiting from that. We are able to bring in our volunteer sites, our businesses, our individuals, and have some great fellowship with our community. And the end result is outstanding numbers that you see here today, with this coming back to the organization to further assist those that we serve in our communities. So we were truly blessed yesterday as an organization to have such a great outpouring from our community. It shows what St. John's means to our community. It shows what these individuals that we support mean to our community, and the imprint that we are making each and every day. So we are very blessed and grateful to have that opportunity yesterday. And you know, the number continues to grow. So who knows where this will end, but we are so blessed to have that opportunity.
Great.
Hey,
Thanks, Dwayne.
can I just add a couple of things? First of all, a couple of people called in who worked for St. John's and donated. So thank you guys for doing that. That's just tremendous. And just as a shout out to Dwayne and his team and how amazing they are, we got several pledges and high dollar pledges in honor of the St. John's employees and the work that they do and how grateful the families are. So I think that's just kudos to the Tennessee team and the amazing work that you're doing. And I was really impressed with everything I saw there this week. So just great job.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Dwayne. And thanks, Bessie. And Bessie, before you go off mute there, I
Yeah.
know that we have a special sort of someone who's been working with us for a little while, but has recently become official. And if you'd like to announce that.
Yep. I'm not sure if she's on, but Amanda Irwin, who has been working with us since February as a contractor, has come on board as an employee of St. John's. So you'll be seeing more of her. She's the content and development, or the development and marketing content manager, which really means that she's going to be contacting people to get stories for our fundraising efforts, for our marketing efforts. In addition, when we can travel again safely, she'll be coming around to the different programs, taking videos and photographs. So really just, we're so blessed to have her. She's an amazing writer and a fabulous, and she's just joined through the waiting room. But a fabulous writer and tremendous support to the marketing and development team. And we're really lucky to have her. So be on the lookout for her emails. Don't ignore her. She'll come on you like a dog and keep after you to get her. So please, Amanda, we're really excited to have her as a full-time person on our team.
A nice dog, though, right?
Very nice dog.
A friendly but slightly
Yeah.
aggressive.
Dog with bone. She's not going to let it go.
I can attest to that. So, all right, great.
I can be a witness too. Yeah.
What was just said
Oh,
about me?
well, there she is.
Oh, there she
Yeah, you somehow got compared to a dog early on, Amanda. I'm sorry. but
Interesting.
it was really meant as a compliment.
Yes, I said that you were like a dog with a bone. You're not going to let it go. So when you contact people for stories, they better answer you, or otherwise you're going to stick to them.
That's a true story.
I know. My stories are coming, I promise. Okay, all right, next up, it is time for Frontline Friday. And this being the Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week, we have chosen to highlight one of our frontline staff who work with youth experiencing homelessness in DC through our OASIS program. This week's Frontline Friday is Miss Erica Ekhigby. And I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, Erica. When asked why she works for SJCS, Erica said that working at St. John's Community Services has allowed me to work in several different departments, which I have grown professionally. As a caseworker in the OASIS program, I have been able to focus my attention on assisting the team members with providing housing for young adults. I'm aware that a lot of people from all walks of life experience misfortune at no fault of their own, people who fundamentally possess good qualities that make them promising contributors to society. I find joy and satisfaction in being able to help our displaced young adults who have been left to fend for themselves. I like being part of a positive team that focuses on replacing these young adults, on placing these young adults in homes and providing them with much needed support and resources that would not have been known were available to them. As a member of the OASIS program, it is a privilege to support young adults age 18 to 24 in creating a stable future where they can gain their independence and be contributing members of the community. And I think John is here also. And John, if you would like to say a couple of words about Erica, that would be nice as well. Is John still with us? Maybe John is not with us. All right, well, Erica, congratulations, good work. You exemplify all that is St. John's Community Services, and we wish you well in your future endeavors, and congratulations. All right, now, with a little bit of help from Ryan, and hopefully technology that will work, we are going to give you a little virtual tour of the shelter in Ithaca. And are we ready? Oh, I'm sideways. There's me. Turn your camera the other way. There we go. So there's me. I'm in my office. Now, what Kate is going to do is she's going to walk out and walk right next door. My office is next door to the shelter. Hi, Kate. Thank you. So she's just going to walk down the street a little bit. And there's the little alley that separates my office from the shelter. And there's the shelter. So there we go. Beautiful. So Kate, sort of maybe walk towards the front door and give us a little view of, here's our front door. That's where only staff goes in the front door. Give us a little view up of the second floor. Maybe walk back a little bit. There's the second and the third floor. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. Now, Kate is gonna, oh, here's our window. There's someone right there who is, this is where if people want to access our pantry is right on the other side of that window. And when COVID came along, rather than have people come into the shelter and sort of create more traffic in that way, we've sort of figured out a way that we can open up the window and provide people that need food from the pantry right from, oh, and there's, here we go. That is Laron. Laron's in there helping out folks, getting food for them. Thank you, Laron. Mask on, gloves on, good work. Now we're going to go around the corner. Down when our clients who come to visit the shelter, they actually go in a door which is down this alleyway. But one of the things that I'd like to do is sort of stop here. And when we first opened up the shelter and had our grand opening, a local artist did this mural for us. His name is Dan Bergevin. And he's a very pretty famous around here, local mural artist. And this sort of depicts what is going on. And I'm going to ask Kate if she can sort of read what is scrolled along the bottom there as we go along this mural. It sort of depicts people coming in sort of in a topsy-turvy fashion. Life isn't going so good. The supports that we provide, and then walking out. So Kate, why don't you read what it says?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. So we come in from the dark and crazy street life, topsy-turvy without knowing what to do. We get help here, food and needed rest. Sorry, I can't read it with the light. A laundry and a kind and watchful eye. We can find balance and can step out knowing we can return because love and caring are here. We are in the light.
There we go. So that is a success story. And we see many of those kind of success stories almost on a daily basis. So Amanda, you'll be hearing some of those stories. So we walk down the alleyway here, and that's Tara, and Tara is one of our magical caseworkers who helps out Kate. You walk into the shelter. Now stop here for a minute, Kate. This is in the wintertime. This is an area where if it's really cold, someone can come in and get out of the cold and stay warm here. If you turn over to the right a little bit, or to your towards the bathrooms. So we have 2 bathrooms that anyone from the community that needs to use a bathroom, we have 2 bathrooms that are available. These are people oftentimes that come in from unsheltered encampments, and they're welcome to use our bathrooms at any time. Then we could walk into the shelter. And well, look at that, he's working. And this is Chris. Now, Chris, if you want to, oh, he's busy working. Chris is our program supervisor. Chris, do you want to say hello? Okay, he said hello. He's not going to take his mask down. Good for you. All right, excellent. So walk in. So here we are. That is Charles. Charles is a super worker. Thanks, Charles, for all that you do. This is the front desk. People come in, they report there, they sign in. If you sort of give us a little turn to there. And this is what we call the Friendship Center. Now, the Friendship Center has changed a lot over time because of COVID. A year ago, there would have been 30 to 50 people using this area. People come in, get a cup of coffee, grab something to eat, hang out, get out of the cold, watch TV a little bit. This is something that I sort of affectionately call the living room for the disadvantaged, for the living room for the disenfranchised and the disadvantaged. So we still provide all of the services that we've provided in the Friendship Center. We just do it a little bit differently now. People come in one at a time. They get all the services that they need. We just don't gather in groups. This is our outside courtyard where we have oftentimes have activities, people gardening. This is where people hang out and smoke cigarettes and get some fresh air, hopefully as well. If anyone was in the Ithaca at our grand opening about a year ago, That's the space where we had a tent set up, and we had our grand opening event there. So that's the Friendship Center. Now we're going to walk down the hallway here, go up to the stairs to what we affectionately call 1R. We're going to take a little left over to the, this is an area that used to be offices. And what we have done is we've sort of turned it into an open air dormitory style shelter. Typically it's 8 beds. We've made some changes. Most of you are aware of the fact that, or some of you may or may not be aware, that in Ithaca, there is a law which is known as Code Blue. And if the temperature, or actually if the wind chill is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit and someone knocks on our door, we are required to provide them with a safe, warm place to hang out. So this area that Kate is just leaving now, and we'll look back, we're going to use this for cold weather bedding at night, and then an area during the winter where people can come in and get out of the cold. One of the things that has happened with COVID is that we have, because of the limited number of people that are allowed in the Friendship Center, there's not a lot of place for people to get out of the cold in the winter. So we're sort of working with the community to open up this area so that we provide more space for people to get out of the cold come the cold weather that typically happens, not typically, does happen here in upstate New York. It gets bitterly cold and snowy in this part of the world. So if we walk down the hallway here, there's Tara. Tara is one of the caseworkers. She's waving, yeah, good. Sort of peek into your office, Kate. Oh, and we'll look at the art in a minute. So this is where Kate and Tara do all of they work their magic. We deal with people on a daily basis who are suffering from all kinds of, typically not having their best days. Most of the people that we deal with, not most, but many, suffer from addiction, active alcoholism, severe mental health issues. We deal with folks who are fleeing domestic violence situations. And the work that Kate and Tara do on a daily basis is find the appropriate, safe, warm place for those folks to be at. So our shelter is small. We only at best shelter 20 people in our shelter. So many of the folks that we serve, we send to hotels, and Kate and Tara figure out the best place, the best hotel, and the best place for them to be where they can be safe. Another thing that Kate does is she is a registered, not a registered, but a certified art therapist. And this is a little piece of art that she did with community members, and often does groups on a daily basis. Not so much with COVID, but we'll get started again where we do art therapy with our clientele. So in that picture right there, if you pan back a little bit, the picture that you're looking at on the left of your screen is sort of magnified in a much bigger way through the whole piece of artwork right there, which is that, which is really quite nice and unique. Beautiful. Kate's idea, Kate's design, put it all together and made it happen with clientele. If we go down here now, right here is the pantry. Our food pantry is open 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. With COVID, we expanded the hours. There's the window that you were looking at right there where someone can walk up and people will serve them. They'll sort of do their shopping for them and get bags of food so that they can be on their way and with a good meal for the next week or so. Kate, if you would just look at the, one of the things that I think, I'm not sure if Amanda had something to do with this, she may have. This is new equipment. We used to have rickety old refrigerators in there that were in constant need of repair. We recently got a grant through the Community Foundation of Tompkins County for $10,000. And with their help, we have purchased commercial style reach-in freezers and refrigerators. So a beautiful new addition to the shelter. And then Kate, if you want to, she's going to take a quick run upstairs and show you what one of our shelter rooms look like. And as she goes upstairs, one of the things about the pantry that has just been so remarkable this year, and we've with the help of other organizations partnering with other not-for-profits in Ithaca, we have made arrangements to deal and provide lunch to everyone in shelter and to most of the folks that are unsheltered in the unsheltered encampment in Ithaca as well. This is a shelter room right here. This is a vacant one, so that's why it looks as empty as it is, but that's typically what a shelter room looks like. When people move in, they get a little bit cozy. Obviously, we provide them with bedding and blankets and pillows, and oftentimes you'll find artwork on the wall, and they kind of make it a nice little cozy kind of a place to stay for hopefully a short period of time. So that's the shelter. And if anyone has any questions about anything about the shelter, I think we're going to let go. Kate, great job, Kate. Thank you so much. That was terrific. Yay. And you too, Tara. Good work. Excellent. Beautiful. All right. So, the shelter. I've sort of taken you from New York State down to the Finger Lakes, down to Ithaca, down to the shelter, and into the shelter, into a shelter bedroom. It's pretty remarkable, the things that happen in that and those 3 floors. One of the things that I didn't mention is that another part of the program is that on the 3rd floor, the 2nd floor are shelter beds. On the 3rd floor, we have what we call SROs, or single room occupancies. And it's really the first means for someone who is homeless to find their way out of homelessness. They're a very low rent, low barrier housing, and sort of your first step to being alone. And there's 15 rooms upstairs that comprise our single room occupancies. So now, I just would like to end with a couple of words. I'm going to try and figure out a way to make my view different here. There it is. Okay. When first asked about doing the town hall, in hosting the town hall, I gladly said, of course, I'd love to do it. Although I must say I was a little nervous about it and still am. And so all of the parts that we've done already are pretty standard, and things that Alan does so eloquently each and every week, and all of the people of the leadership team have done before me in such a fine and wonderful and beautiful way. But when I was asked, I thought, okay, well, there's this part of the town hall that where people talk oftentimes about themselves, about some meaningful things. And what in the world what can I add, or what can I say? So I've been thinking about it, and thinking about it quite a bit. One of the things that has always impressed me as we go through these town hall meetings, and as I work not just as an employee for St. John's Community Services, but as part of the leadership team as well, and get to know different parts of the organization. There are these wonderful stories that we've all talked about, right? And many of the stories that we talk about are coming from people who, from the bottom of their hearts, talk about St. John's Community Services as not just a place to work, but as really something that is very meaningful in their lives. And it's not just a place to work. It's something that is very meaningful in their lives, right? So I began thinking about that, and I feel that way. You know, I have I made a decision a number of years ago that I wanted my work to be meaningful, and I started out on a path in different not-for-profits that it started out, and I've worked in drug and alcohol rehabs, and I actually worked for an organization in Ithaca known as Challenge Workforce Solutions that does much of the same kind of work that St. John's does in other parts of the country. They work with developmentally disabled folks. And then this opportunity came along. And so I've been thinking about, well, you know, what can I say? What can I add to this conversation? And why is St. John's, I know that it's important to everyone else, but why is it important to me? And I think, you know, one of the things that I'd like to do in the remaining time that I have here, just the few minutes that I have left, is sort of share with you something about myself that the leadership knows about me. And certainly the people that are close to me know about me. And certainly my family knows about me. And as you, part of my family, I'm going to share it with all of you. And that is that I am a person in recovery. I have, and I just, you know, I'm, if you're familiar with the secret handshake, I am a friend of Bill W's. Some of you may or may not know what that means. If you do, kudos to you. And I recently celebrated an anniversary. You know, it's for me, I have a birthday anniversary, and I also have a sobriety anniversary, which is really the beginning of my life, as I like to think about it, at least the beginning of my new life. And my anniversary recently, I celebrated 22 years of sobriety. So thank you all. Thank you very much. That's not why I say it, because it truly is just one day at a time. But still, over the years, I have come to learn some things about life through sobriety. And they are things that are exemplified by every single employee, or at least most of the employees that I've come across that work for St. John's Community Services. When I first got into this recovery business 22 years ago, you know, I learned rather quickly that recovery is really much more than putting down the drink and the drug. And what it really is what it really is all about is about change. And it's about sort of embracing some fundamental principles that will guide, that I have chosen actually to guide me through my life. And those principles are, and I'd like to talk a little bit about each one of them in a very brief way, are hard work, humility, and gratitude. You know, the hard work, so that we hear that comes out of the Frontline Friday employees, the hard work that I hear from people who have chosen to stay locked down in their the place where they work, so that they can better serve their employees and keep people safe from COVID. The hard work that I see from the people that work next door in the place that you just, everyone that you met that we walked by and you said hello to next door, does this work because they want to be helpful, because they want to be, they want their work to be meaningful. And the hard work that we're talking about is really not the hard work that is physical hard work. The hard work that we display is displayed by our kindness and our compassion and our care, and yes, the love that we have for the people that we serve, and the love that we have for one another as well. I mean, let's face it, we are a family. When it comes to humility, you know, I heard someone say once that humility was, they defined it as it's not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself less. And I love that expression. And you know, humility is one of those things, at least for me, is sort of hard to explain. I think for me, the humility that is exemplified in the people that we work with on a daily basis comes through the knowledge of and the understanding that we are just workers. We're just workers among workers who are doing the best we can on a daily basis to do something good for another human being. And there's a lot and a ton of humility in that. And then finally, one of my favorite things to talk about is gratitude. And, you know, when I first got sober a long time ago, the old timers would say to me, Roy, it's not good enough to just say that you're grateful. That doesn't cut it. Gratitude is an action word. You got to show it, right? And so one of the things that just amazes me on a daily basis is that we here at St. John's, all of you, sort of go about your days with what I like to call an attitude of gratitude, right? Doing the best we can to make someone's day who is a little bit less fortunate than us a little bit better. And so gratitude is an amazing, wonderful thing. And as I think about St. John's and all of the people that work at St. John's, our work is really exemplified by the principles of recovery, right? Hard work, humility, and gratitude. And they're not just principles of recovery. They are fine principles of life that, that we as an organization excel in, I believe. So finally, what I'd like to say is that, you know, I have faith, right? I mean, I'm first of all, a person of faith, which I don't want to talk too much about. But I want to talk about what I consider even a deeper faith. And that is that, you know, maybe you've heard the expression, and I'm sure many of you had, I think it's a biblical expression actually, that faith without works is dead, right? And one of my favorites is faith can move mountains, but you better bring a shovel, right? Because it's a lot of hard work. And I think that as an organization, you know, my people that my trusted advisors that I talk to on a regular basis say, Roy, it's not enough to have just faith. You got to do the footwork, right? It's faith in footwork. And so in my mind, St. John's is an organization that on a daily basis, right? One day at a time, 1 minute at a time, one act of kindness at a time, right, does our best, does the footwork, and has the faith that if we do the footwork, that we will make lives better, that we will make this organization better, and that we will make the world a better place. And I believe that. So that's all I got. Peace out, everybody.
That was
Hey,
great, Roy. That was great.
And
Can I say a little something, please?
yes,
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, thanks a lot for those words of wisdom. I'm sorry I missed out on the front lines Fridays for Erica. An emergency came up. I did want to take. Okay, Erica, I hope she's still on, but Erica, she has been a breath of fresh air for our Oasis program. I know she originally was working with the day program, and she's still doing work for the day program, and she joined us. And when she joined us, she came in with her arms open and her high heels on. She came in, she began to build a relationship with the guys that we have in Oasis. Anything that you ask her to do, she did it with a smile on her face and with an open heart. You can't believe that in a short period of time, the type of relationships that she has built with our 3 participants now. She did not mind going into in Oasis, we have to go into some rough areas sometimes. So she's had no problem in walking side by side with me in those areas and getting the work done that we had to do to provide the services for the people in our program. So I just want to wholeheartedly thank Erica for being a part of Oasis, and we look forward to working with you further in the future.
great. Thanks,
Okay,
John.
thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you got back on so you could tell us that. All right, so I'll hang out here a little bit. Anyone who wants to talk about the Finger Lakes, I'd be happy to talk about Ithaca, the Finger Lakes, the shelter, anything at all. Faith, footwork, gratitude, hard work.
I will say, Chloe, if you're still on, if you could post that link in the chat. Roy, just following up on what you talked about, Chloe's going to be doing an article based on why people choose to work here. So I think you just led in beautifully with your personal story, and thank you for being so open and willing to share that. That was amazing. But if anybody else would like to share, Chloe put that link in the chat.
And Chloe, I just want to say that I had prepared what I was going to talk about here today, and then I read your article just as like 10 minutes before I was going to go on here. So it really boosted my, it buoyed my, what I had to say. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy. Thank you for sharing what you had to say. And as we head into this holiday season, we know, and the leadership knows, that the employees that work at St. John's are the best ambassadors. They are the best brand advocates. And there's a reason each of us get up every day and we do our job. It's because we love one another and we love the people that we support. So I put a link to this article, Google Doc, that I'm going to be starting. And really, I'm going to be posting an article in probably the first week of December. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you do on a day-to-day basis. We want to know why you put in the extra hours. We want to know and hear from you about why you are so selfless, so compassionate, and so honored to be a part of the St. John's journey. So by November 30th, if you can add in your comments, your thoughts, any quotes, we need to put that gratitude into action, just like Roy said. So if you have the time from now until November, please go ahead and put your thoughts in that doc. And thank you for that intro, Roy. It worked out perfectly.
Good.
Roy's got that kind of way about him. Hey, it may be a little bit late, but I saw a text earlier from Ryan Temple that he was with some folks at Estacada House who wanted to say hello. I don't know, Ryan, if you're still there with them, but. we'd be happy to wave back at them if they are.
Yeah, we're here. We're here. You guys see me?
We see.
So someone just came in my office, so I got to put my mask on.
Are you gonna put the bills on? Come on, man. The bills.
You guys want to say hi?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
How are you?
Hi.
You can talk to everybody.
Hello. I'm Elisa.
Hey, Lisa. Hey,
Lisa.
Marilyn.
Oh, hi, George.
Hey,
How
Joe.
are ya?
How you
Good to
doing?
see
There's
you.
Ron.
Hey,
Hey.
Ron.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy that meeting?
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they
Yes.
enjoyed it. They enjoyed it. It was a good
Oh.
testament for them to hear.
Yeah.
They were nodding and they were saying amen, and they're in agreement, and
Yeah.
Miss Marilyn chuckled a few times. Yeah, so but
I'm
yeah,
glad you could join us.
yes, they enjoyed it.
I did.
Thanks for including us.
Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, ladies, have a good weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You want to talk?
Yeah.
Oh.
How you doing, man?
How are you?
We can talk this week or so. Next week it's transfer.
Are you heading out? You going home?
How you doing?
Hey, doing well. How you
How are
doing?
you?
My name's Michael.
Hey,
Hi,
Michael.
What's up, Michael? Ricky Ross.
Rick Ross, Michael.
Ricky Ross.
Key West. How you doing?
All right.
Where's John Jackson at?
John.
Where is that John Jackson?
Where's John Jackson at?
I think he was driving off into the
I think he
sunset.
got off. Yeah.
You get him for me? John Jackson.
I think he's gone, buddy. I'm sorry.
Hey, Michael, it's Cherie.
Hey, Cherie. Can I call you?
Yes, Michael, you got my number. You can call
No,
me.
I don't.
Yes, you do. You have it.
No, I don't. Can I get your number, please?
You have it, but I'll give it to you again. I'll call the apartment.
Can you call the apartment now?
Yes, give me 3 minutes.
Come on, Cherie.
That's great. Come on.
Give me 3 minutes.
Come on, Cherie. Come on, Cherie, please.
Okay, I'm gonna give me 3 minutes, Michael. I'm gonna call you.
Come on, Cherie, please. Cherie, I want to see you.
I'll be to Delaware soon to visit y'all.
I want you to call me. Can you call me? I want your number.
You have my number, but I'm gonna call and give it to you again.
Give it to me now.
I'm gonna call you on the phone. Answer the house phone, Michael. I'm about to call you.
Right now.
That's Ricky Rose.
He doesn't want all this riffraff to have her phone number.
Oh, her number is posted. She don't have a choice. Roy, great job. I wanted to say great job. It was
Yeah, it was really beautiful, Roy. Thank you so much.
and
Thank
natural.
you.
Very natural. I don't know what the nervousness was about. I came off the perfect way.
How did the tour come off? Was that all right?
Yeah,
That was great.
That was
Great.
awesome.
Great stuff.
Cool.
I
Yeah,
thought
I
you were gonna, I thought you were
Great
gonna do a
idea.
cooking demonstration for some buffalo wings. I was waiting.
That's next time.
Next time? Okay, perfect. Got it.
But remember, Precious, they're not buffalo wings up there. They're
Well,
just wings.
Wings.
Yeah.
Wings, just
No,
wings.
no. If you're not in Buffalo, it's buffalo wings. If you get there, then and I go to, like I said, if you're in Italy, you say, "Can I get some Italian food?" No, it's the food, right?
Right.
That's right.
But when you come over here, you got to get some Italian food. So,
That's right.
Roy, we want to see the perfect demonstration of cooking those wings.
Oh, Roy, that
Buffalo
sounds
wing.
like a good project. We should just start working on that for the next couple months until we get it right.
That's right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think that will add Roy to really test his buffalo skills to the holiday events.
Very nice.
Just
Yeah, and
add-
Kate actually is. We should get Kate tied into that as well.
Kate and Roy, I've added it. See my pen? That means you are forever.
So the greatest insult to a buffalo wing is ranch dressing. Just to throw it out there.
Ranch.
Gotta be said.
Blue cheese, always.
Blue
Gotta
cheese.
be
Always. Matter of fact, I never even seen ranch dressing until I traveled out, came down here and everybody was like, ranch. I was like, "Bleh."
Yeah, California too. That's the first time I saw it out in California.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted ranch.
I said, ranch?
You gotta stop hating on the ranch. The ranch is delicious.
No, never had it.
With pizza too. It's great
A
with
voice
pizza.
for the ranch. All right, I can respect that.
Disgusting. Yeah, ranch is for your salad and riding a horse. That's about it. That's about it. That's about it.
I grew up in a great big Catholic family.
Is John
and-
back? John is back.
Is Mike gone? John Jackson! John Jackson!
John,
Louis.
you're being called, John.
Where should we at?
She calling the house.
I think she's calling you.
What's up, Mike? John Jackson, I want you to come to Delaware. Where should we at?
Teresa, she's calling you.
Hey, Mike, how you doing, man?
Oh, there's John.
Hey, John Jackson. What? Hey, John Jackson. I think you wanted to talk to me. Where should we at? John Jackson. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? How you doing, John Jackson? Hey, Mike, can you hear me? No, man. I can hear you. I do not know. John Jackson. I'm doing good. Man. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you, old man. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's good to hear from you. It's good to hear you, man. I love you, John. Thanks Jackson. A lot, man. Where should we at? All right, good to see you too. Good to see you too. I love you, John Jackson. All right, love you too, Mike. Where should we at? I don't know. She probably working. Where should we call me? Where she gonna call me? Okay, Mike, I love you too.
Calling
I'm gonna talk to you later, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That's who we call me. I'll tell her. Okay, Mike. Chewy.
I'm getting the number. I'm calling you. Give me a few minutes.
Chewy,